Aiken, even Evans, Grovetown. A lot of that rain's moving off towards the north. We have fairly dry conditions at the moment. But the one thing I'm worried about late tonight, we do have this thunderstorm complex south of us. That is starting to reach Emmanuel, Johnson, and Washington County. And what I'm seeing on satellite is that it's basically sending in rain, cold air in our direction. So if this shows up maybe 2 hours from now, it could be enough to maybe lift up an isolated shower, but doesn't necessarily look to be a widespread chance. So I wouldn't let the weather keep you from heading out to any fun festivities for the rest of tonight. If you're heading out to date night or the Green Jackets game, I would keep your plans. It doesn't look like we're going to have a washout by any means. Here's a look at how much rain we did see this afternoon. So the hot spot was definitely Burke, Jenkins, and Screven County, right along Highway 25 between Millen and Waynesboro. They saw a couple of inches of rain, maybe 2 to 3 inches of rain there. But very hit or miss. You can see some spots saw some heavy rain, maybe light rain at times, while others of us just stayed completely dry. So this is the really frustrating thing. We had rain all the way around Augusta and North Augusta, but just could not have any rain fall on top of the city. So it's getting dry for us. We desperately need it. And thankfully this weekend we will have continued opportunities for showers and thunderstorms both Saturday and Sunday, all thanks to this stalled front across the region. This just provides that extra amount of lift to produce these storms. And since the front's going to remain towards our north, we're still going to be very hot and humid south of the front. So rest of tonight, I would say if there is any rain, it only lasts up until 9-10 o'clock. And then the overnight mostly dry. We're going to wake up tomorrow morning at least partly mostly cloudy skies, so that will help keep the heat down the first part of the day. But once these clouds break up, we should see at least low to mid 90s tomorrow afternoon, and then those hit or miss storms will be possible between 2 and 9 p.m. So just a heads up. Doesn't look like any one storm would sit on one certain location for an extended period of time. So don't cancel your outdoor plans this weekend, but just make sure you have that First Alert weather app. It'll give you those notifications in case lightning is getting close to you. Here's Sunday. Sunday's going to be a little bit hotter than Saturday, most likely highs near 96 with feel-like temperatures potentially as high as 106, 107. But with that added humidity in the air, that will also bring back a better opportunity for some scattered showers and storms. Once we get into early next week, you can notice our wind direction starting to change. So you see that wind direction heading out of the north, but our southern counties seeing that wind direction out of the south. So that's when that front is dipping a little bit further into the CSRA. So our heat threat will go down a little bit by early next week. Still a continued chance for some storms Monday afternoon wherever this front ends up. And then as we head into Tuesday, we should see our temperatures actually drop below average behind that. So a good northeast wind is going to bring us a much nicer feeling air mass once we get into the middle of next week. But for this weekend, dangerous heat and humidity, feel like temperatures up to around 105 the next couple of afternoons. So it's summertime. A lot of us want to get outside, and I think we will have a great opportunity to get outside and enjoy all the fun outdoor things. But just make sure you're staying hydrated, protect yourself from the sun. UV index is going to be running very high this weekend, and just make sure you know the early signs of heat exhaustion and heat stroke. If you're starting to feel faint, dizzy, headache, maybe you're even just profusely sweating, and then you all of a sudden stop sweating and your skin starts turning bright red and very hot and dry to the touch, that's when you're getting to a heat stroke, and you really need to take that seriously. But one of the weather hazards you do need to monitor this weekend up at the lake is the chance for maybe a few pop-up thunderstorms. Definitely don't want to be on the water anytime there's lightning and thunder around. So just make sure you keep an eye to the sky, but temperature-wise, should feel seasonal up at the lake, most likely 91, 93 degrees. But the heat index, the feel-like temperatures, that's going to be the big thing Saturday and Sunday, so around 105, just a little bit hotter on Sunday. Next week, though, you can see Tuesday, feel-like temperatures only into the low 90s, so about a 14-degree feel-like temperature drop between Sunday and Tuesday next week. So that's going to be behind that backdoor cold front. Here's a look at those feel-like temps. So Saturday afternoon, anywhere from, say, 100 to 101 for us here around Augusta. You can see a little bit hotter the closer you get to the coastline, and just a little bit better feeling the further inland you get, the further west. Once we get into Sunday, that's going to be the hottest day of the weekend, where feel-like temperatures anywhere from 103 to 107, and that is across the board. So dangerous heat and humidity. Monday, this is when the relief starts, and that will just continue into Tuesday. So by Tuesday, Wednesday, feeling much better, and just going to have to deal with this heat and humidity for the weekend. Update on the tropics. It's getting busy again. We have this one wave that's in the western Caribbean about to cross over the Yucatan. That has about a 20–30% chance of forming the next 2 to 7 days. This is the system that has really developed, and you can see how tall those thunderstorms are near the center. Starting to see some overshooting tops right there. So this is battling some Saharan dust that is just north of it. As it continues to move west, it's going to get out of that dust layer and should be able to develop a little bit more. But right now it looks like it is becoming a tropical depression. If not now, it will become a tropical depression tonight, and then just slowly going to drift into the Caribbean as we head past the weekend into early next week. And then there's actually another system behind this one just a little bit further east, and that's kind of battling the Saharan dust too. But once it gets out of that environment, it could possibly develop a little bit more, but that is a lower chance than that one in the middle of the Atlantic. Next named storm is going to be Beryl. We had Alberto just a couple weeks ago. If we see the system that I was just showing you named tonight, it would become Beryl. And then next in line is Chris, then Debbie, Ernesto, Francine, then Gordon. But we do have plenty of rocket fuel in our oceans to produce tropical systems. All we need is sea surface temperatures to be 80 degrees or hotter to see tropical cyclone development. We got at least mid-80s across most of the Caribbean, Gulf of Mexico, and the Atlantic Basin. So the season is very early in its stages. The fact that we already have these systems we're monitoring, not necessarily super normal. So this is looking like a very active season ahead. Here's a look at our 7-day. So for the weekend, heat, humidity, chance for storms, very summer-like all the way through early next week. But Tuesday, Wednesday, do see some relief, but you can see the heat does make a return with a vengeance. For July 4th and next Friday, those high temps will be back close to 100 with fairly low storm chances. So another hot and dry outlook towards the end of next week. But hopefully you had a great Friday and big plans for the weekend. If you want to watch us again, we're coming up on 26 News at 7 o'clock.